The United Kingdom Foundation Program is an internship that UK medical graduates enter into as soon as they finish medical school. And on completion of this 2-year program, they then, figure out what kind of specialty training, core training, or whatever else they want to do. The thing is, international medical graduates can also apply. You do not have to complete internship in your home country, especially if you know it will not meet the acceptable criteria as laid out by GMC. Unfortunately, a lot of IMGs have these misconceptions stuffed into their brain that, oh, actually, no, I can't do UKFP, or UKFP is not allowed for us. So we thought we'd talk about the 6 common myths about UKFP for IMGs. If this is the first time you're checking out our channel, welcome. Basically what we do is we run a website that's totally free known as roadtok.com, and it will explain the ins and outs about everything related to the United Kingdom and what it takes for you to work as a doctor in the NHS. So if you've not already, please stalk us on all of our social media. Find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Hi guys, my name's Ibreez and I currently work as a doctor in the NHS, and let's get into this. Alright, the first myth. This first myth is really the people who are on the fence. Some people are like, no, 1000%, you can't even do UKFP if you're an IMG. And then you've got the people who are like, no, everyone has to do UKFP, especially if you're an IMG, there's no way around it. So if we're looking at it both ways, let's first look at the ones who are like, nope, no way, you can't do UKFP if you're an IMG. So once upon a time, there was this thing called the Resident Labor Market Test, or RLMT, and it used to stipulate that you could not apply for the United Kingdom Foundation Program if you weren't like on a spousal visa or something like that, or British citizen. You couldn't do UKFP, but they took that all away, guys, so it does not matter. You can apply if you want to, and there is a whole eligibility application, a timeline, all this kind of stuff. Ibrahim's gone in depth about it. We have videos about it. Check those out, but suffice to say, yes, you can do it if you want to. Now, the other side of the coin, do you have to do it? Is it a mandatory thing for international graduates? No, of course not. If you've completed an acceptable pattern of internship and GMC is happy and they say, you know what, you've done it, great, full GMC registration, you do not need to do UKFP. In fact, you become ineligible for UKFP because in order to proceed with the United Kingdom Foundation Program, you must hold provisional registration, and those of you who have completed an acceptable pattern of internship get full GMC registration. People who do the UKFP, they start off with provisional in their FY1. At the end of their FY1, they are judged on the basis of their portfolio and competencies to see, are you ready to get full GMC registration? They get that at the beginning of their FY2, and the whole thing finishes at the end of their FY2. The second myth is that you have to pay a whole ton of money to do this whole program, to get into it, for the application, for the processing, for the exams, for the fees. Wait, let's just take a step back. First of all, when you're applying for the United Kingdom Foundation Program, even for the eligibility application, there's no cost. So you don't have to pay a university, you don't have to pay a hospital, you don't have to pay GMC, you don't have to pay UKFP. Nothing like that exists. If you are an international medical graduate with a non-European qualification, what you're basically looking at is you're going to have to pay for your PLAB and your English proficiency, and then of course you'll pay for the registration itself. And the only thing that you're going to be really concerned about is making sure that your timeline is set. There's no fee for the SJT. Yes, if you have to take the National Clinical Assessment exam, there will be a fee for that as well, but that is not always something that every single individual has to take. If you're graduating with a relevant European qualification, which still offers you provisional registration but exempts you for PLAB, you don't have to pay for anything except for the registration, and that's it. There's no actual exam fee for like an entrance exam to get into UKFP, or any sort of fee for your application processing. None of that exists. The third myth is, well, okay, Ibreez, you've said that you don't have to pay for any of these exams or for the application process, but obviously, to actually do the foundation program, to get through FY1, to get through FY2, there must be some sort of yearly fee that I'm paying, or some sort of monthly installment to the UKFP or anything like that. No, guys, you're not paying anything. I'm going to make this abundantly clear. In fact, you get paid. You're working as a doctor. You're in a training program, and you will have a salary that you will take home every month. You will be rotating through different specialties, and you will have a contract, and it'll tell you what your pay is, and you can be happy because you're making money. But there's nothing that you would go out of your way to be paying. Make it very clear in terms of the actual application process. Yes, you are paying for your registration. You are paying for any exams that you may have to take, but for the actual program itself, there are no fees. For instance, if we want to call it like a match process to get into UKFP, for you to select which hospitals you'd be going to or to rank those hospitals, there are no fees. You get paid. You don't have to pay for the process or the privilege. The fourth myth is, all right, fine, Ibreez. Yeah, you've told us we can do it. You said it's easy in the terms of how we have to understand what we have to do. We're not paying for anything. They're going to pay us. But they're going to give preference, obviously, to UK nationals or EU, EEA nationals, right? Well, no. It's merit-based. If you're doing really well and they are liking you, they will take you. It's literally down to your SJT scores. Again, I want to reference what Ibrahim's already talked about in previous videos so that I don't take up too much time in this video. But remember, at the end of the day, for all things that you are currently attempting in the United Kingdom, if you're coming in as a doctor, it is purely based on what you have to offer and your abilities and how well you do. It has nothing to do with your nationality or where you graduated from. There used to be things like that. Again, it's with the RLMT. None of that exists anymore. So your application is just as good as a local graduate's application. The fifth myth or concern that a lot of international graduates have is, yeah, Ibreez, you were talking about before that you would need a settled visa status and all that stuff. So does that mean if I did get into UKFP, if I did get selected, they wouldn't sponsor a visa for me? Of course not. They will sponsor a visa for you. You will see they will be asking for, if you have the right to work, and you will straight up be like, no, I don't have the right to work right now. I need to get the right to work. I need a certificate of sponsorship. I need y'all to be like, hey, here's the information that you need so that you can go ahead and apply for a work visa. So don't think just because you don't have a settled visa status or any sort of visa status in the United Kingdom that you cannot apply for the foundation program, because you totally can, and they will sponsor you. And finally, the sixth myth that people get really disconcerted about is, if I do UKFP, then that means it's better than the CREST form, so I shouldn't even bother getting a non-training job, and I should go straight for UKFP because it'll weigh more in my specialty or core training applications. So obviously, guys, no, that's not true. It doesn't matter if you have completed an acceptable pattern of internship outside, gotten a CREST form signed, and applied for training, or if you did the UK Foundation program and then applied for training. In fact, nobody actually knows. Yes, in your oral application, they will ask, how are you showing your competencies? And you'll either say it's from your proof of foundation competencies by having completed the foundation program or through a CREST form. But really, at the end of the day, it doesn't make a difference. No one actually will see it in terms of your application scoring or your interview or anything like that. Now, if you have the opportunity and the timeline works for you and you want to apply for the United Kingdom Foundation program, by all means, do it. If you already know you're goal-oriented and you've set it in your mind that you want to come and work in the UK, why not just start from day one? Why not just start from the foundation program? If, however, you're a little bit like, I don't know if I really want to do this now, or maybe I'll do it later on after I complete a postgraduate exam, that's fine. You can complete your internship back home or wherever it is that you're doing it, and then later on you can apply for full GMC registration on the basis of whatever exam or whatever route is appropriate for you and get your CREST form signed or whatever competencies that you need signed and apply for training. But please do not hold it in the back of your head that if you didn't do UKFP, that your application is suddenly weaker than somebody who has done CREST or gotten the CREST form signed. Yes, you can definitely argue that if you're someone who's come and started in the foundation program from day one, you might be able to build a stronger portfolio just for the simple fact that there may be more resources available and you could have a broadened understanding of what you would need for your portfolio, but that doesn't necessarily mean you couldn't do that through CREST. It's just ultimately up to you guys. Make your pros and cons and see what works for you. But remember, UKFP is something that you as an international medical graduate can strive to achieve. It is something that you can do. Yes, it might be a little bit more difficult especially if you're concerned about time constraints and, making sure that you get everything done when you need to get it done. Yes, you might have to wait a little bit longer for it to get started because it has a set start date in August.
Yes, you might be like, well, it's a 2-year internship here, but in my home country, it's a 1-year internship. A lot of little things will go into your decision making, but remember, nothing is actually stopping you except for yourself. So there you all have it. If you're still really confused, of course, by all means, ask questions down below. We also have this awesome new thing called the Road to UK Forum, where there are international medical graduates, there are medical students, and our awesome Road to UK ambassadors who are there happy to answer any questions or concerns that you may have. But until next time, guys, if you don't already, please follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Subscribe to our newsletter if you haven't already, and we will see you later. Bye.